Getting injured in calisthenics can set your progress back weeks or even months. Whether you're trying to build more muscle, build more strength, or get better at skills, getting injured is just going to hold you back. And this is why it's so important to implement some injury prevention protocols, in which we're going to talk about in today's video. That way you can train pain-free. Now, the very first thing we're going to talk about today is actually warm-ups. Now, a lot of people skip warm-ups. How you properly warm up is actually, you don't want to do things such as static stretching. Now, what static stretching is actually used for is increasing flexibility. Obviously, increasing flexibility can be very, very helpful in certain calisthenic skills and whatnot. However, if your goal is to get stronger or build more muscle, you actually want to save the stretching for after your workout. So what you actually can do is something called dynamic stretching. So say I'm going to do my push day workout. What I'll end up doing is really warming up my shoulders a lot. So I do like shoulder rotations. I'll do like 10 of these, 10 forward, and then I'll do them small, medium, large, you know. I'll get my shoulders all warmed up, and then I'll even do pass-throughs with the band like you saw I was doing in the beginning there. So this is really gonna help me warm up my shoulders. And on top of doing that, you actually wanna do a lighter set. I do a lot of weighted dips. So what I'll actually do is I'll do a body weight dip set, which is super easy for me. This is just gonna get the blood flowing to the muscles that I'm gonna be working during my weighted dips. Doing these warm-up sets and doing these warm-up dynamic stretching exercises are so important. Even like doing things like this right here, which is gonna warm up your wrists, which in calisthenics, we lean a lot of weight onto our wrists and our elbows and our shoulders. So you really wanna make sure you warm up properly. Even doing like 5 minutes of cardio can help get blood flow to the muscles you're preparing to work. It's gonna actually help you prevent injury. It's gonna get your blood flowing. It actually can boost your strength. This is a 100% a plus. Don't skip warm-ups. I've skipped warm-ups in the past. I've only gotten injured one time, and the one time I got injured is when I didn't warm up. So the second thing we're gonna be talking about is hydration and also nutrition. Staying sufficiently hydrated is super important for muscle growth and recovery. If you're someone who's frequently training and breaking down your muscles and you're feeling sore, you need to be drinking and making sure you're drinking a ton of water. You want to be adequately hydrated. The reason why is because your body literally uses water in every single process. This includes muscle recovery and muscle growth. So if you're somebody who's looking to build muscle or even recover from your workouts, you got to drink enough water. A good rule of thumb is to take a sip of water at least every single 20 minutes, or you can just drink a ton of water like I do. I drink an excessive amount of water. Now, obviously you don't have to take things to the extreme like I do. However, I'm just telling you what I do. What I would recommend for you to do is take a sip of water every 20 minutes at least. You should ideally get 101 ounces of water every day. Make sure you're getting that and you'll be adequately hydrated. The second aspect of this is obviously nutrition. Now, you want to make sure you're getting enough protein in. My recommendation would be 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now, a lot of people say that you don't need that much. You only need about like 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight, which is actually true. Scientifically, you don't need a ton of protein to actually build muscle. However, there is certain studies that show more benefit with more protein, and I tend to lean towards those studies because in my personal experience, when I eat more protein, I just feel better, I feel fuller, and I feel more energized, and I also feel more recovered for my next workout. So if you're somebody who frequently trains to failure like I do, you need to actually get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight minimum, I would say. If you're a skinny guy, you started off skinny like I am. Some people still say I'm skinny, however, I feel like I've come a long way. You want to actually get enough calories in, right? You need to eat more. If you're obese or overweight, obviously you can ignore this advice, but this is for my skinny guys out there. If you're skinny and you feel like you're not recovering properly, you have to just simply eat more. You need to be in a caloric surplus, at least 500 calories above maintenance. Just make sure you're getting enough calories, you're getting enough protein, and you're adequately hydrated, and this will cover the hydration/nutrition aspect of things. Now, next, I'm going to talk about foam rolling. Now, I use a foam roller a lot for my back because I use my back a lot at my job, as well as I just do a lot of weighted calisthenics and weighted pull-ups. So I actually do have a lot of tension in my back, and foam rolling is something that can help relieve that tension and to get rid of those muscle knots you feel in your back or in any muscle group, really. So if you're someone who trains super hard, a foam roller is pretty cheap, especially a foam one like this. Now, once you get used to the foam one, I'm telling you right now, you're going to want a rubber one. I found that out myself because this quick, like even using this when you first start out, it actually hurts a little bit, right? It actually hurts a little bit, but trust me, your body adapts to this, it gets used to this, and you're probably gonna need something that's a little more stiffer than just foam. So I do have a rubber one as well. However, for most people, the foam one's just gonna be just fine. Now, foam rolling can actually target the fascia around the muscle. Now, what fascia is the connective tissue that connects your muscles together and holds them together. Along with breaking down those muscle knots inside of your muscles, it promotes blood flow to the muscles you were working, right? So if I was doing a back day, for example, and I foam rolled my back at night, that's gonna help promote blood flow to my back, which is actually gonna promote the flow of nutrients such as protein into the muscles itself, boosting recovery time. Guys, I don't know about you, but anything that boosts my recovery time is a good thing in my book. So that's why I use a foam roller. It also can help promote elasticity. A lot of people have tight hamstrings, right? It's because you don't stretch out your hamstrings and you don't like foam roll your hamstrings. So if you foam roll your hamstrings and you stretch them out, that's gonna help you maintain your range of motion in your legs, and that goes with any muscles. Now, alongside foam rolling is obviously gonna be stretching. Now, like I was talking about earlier, I was talking about stretching, how you can stretch out your hamstrings to maintain hamstring flexibility. Stretching just allows you to get more blood flow again to your muscles you've been working. Stretching can also help promote flexibility, obviously, and it keeps your range of motion again. So even more so than the foam rolling. And again, it's gonna help blood flow to the muscles, which is gonna push more nutrients into muscles, boosting recovery time. It prevents stiffness and it reduces muscle tension. Stretching, foam rolling can be something you can do to boost muscle growth significantly. Now, the fourth thing I wanted to talk about is maintaining proper form when it comes to doing your exercises. Now, obviously with calisthenics, this is less of an issue because you're doing closed chain kinetic exercises, which means your arms are gonna be locked in place. So if I'm doing a push-up, my arms aren't moving anywhere. If you're doing bench press, it's like a free weight. Your arms can move here, you can move around, your arms are free to move anywhere, but if you're doing push-up, your arms are locked out by the ground pretty much. So maintaining proper form with stuff like push-ups, pull-ups, squats, stuff like this is not very difficult. However, it is still possible to do a horrible form rep and get injured, right? So the exercise I actually ended up getting injured in high school was doing deadlifts. Now I was deadlifting way too much weight for myself, ended up tweaking my lower back very bad, and I could feel it for months, right? So luckily I was young and I was able to recover from that. However, if I was a little older, I probably would be still feeling it to this day. Don't try to do a one-arm push-up when you can't do a one-arm push-up, right? Don't try to do one-arm pull-up when you can't do a one-arm pull-up, right? Now obviously at some point you can attempt these exercises when you get strong enough. However, you want to make sure you're doing a proper warm-up. You want to make sure you're doing proper form. Don't compromise on form. That is a recipe for disaster and injury. Now, obviously, you don't have to have perfect, strict form and technique. However, what I'm talking about is doing bad form to the point where you're flaring out your elbows like this. That's actually something that can actually legitimately injure you. So make sure you're doing proper form. And the final point I want to go through here is actually including rest days. Now, I know we see a lot of times people like David Goggins on the internet, people who tell you to train every single day. Like, yes, you can be motivated by people, okay? It's completely fine to be motivated by somebody. However, you have to be realistic, okay? So if you're somebody who's just starting out in the gym or you're not used to that level of exercise, you need to build your way up to that. You can build your way up to training every single day if you want to. However, if you're gonna train every single day, odds are you can't go all out every single day, or you're going to end up getting injured and it's gonna hold you back in the long run. Can you train every single day? Yes, you can. You can absolutely train every single day if that's something you wanna do. However, I would advise including rest days. You need a rest day to actually fully recover. If you're gonna train every single day, you're never really gonna be fully recovered and your results are going to be held back because of that. If you're somebody who cares about building muscle, or if you're somebody who cares about maximizing strength, you need to actually include rest days. You have to rest at some point. Remember, your muscles don't grow bigger through exercise. You actually break down your muscles through exercise, and the only way they get bigger and stronger is by rest and recovery. Thank you so much for watching this whole video. If you want more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe.